Hi, I'm Stuart from SRB Leadworks. Welcome to the next job. Let's go and have a look, see what it's all about. Okay, so here we are. This is the last flat roof on this job. As you can see at the moment, there's quite a bit of stuff up on this roof. And we've got this black sheet, which is keeping everything dry, because actually inside it's quite finished off. There's plasterboard been done, and it's all been plastered as well. So what we do, we get this stripped off. We've got air track system to go on the perimeter, so we can do that where we can. There's still a few bits of slates and stuff that need to be pieced in, but we get the air track system pieced in. Can't do this side at the moment because scaffold needs to come out, and that still needs to be slated. We get some building paper on there and we start setting out some wood. Let's get this done. Okay, so as you can see, I've stripped back this sheet now, given it all a sweep off. I've just had to cut a rebate into this timber, just so that this Nicholson vent just sits into there, so there's not a lip created. So I'll work my way through, nailing on this air track through, and then we'll look at this ply to see if there's any screws or nails proud anywhere. If there is, we'll bang them down. Then we can start getting some building paper and get some wood to set this out. Okay, as you can see, all the building paper's on there now, and started setting out a lot of the wood as well. So what I've basically done, because this roof is ridged, which means it falls left to right. So the first thing we did is got the centre of the roof, and we ran this ridge roll down, just strike a chalk line down to get that nice and straight. Then what I've done is I've done the hips, get those hips in, and then basically it's just a case of working out what you've got left through from hip to hip, and divide them equally into what ledge you've got and what you can get. I've managed to get these pretty similar to all the other ones that I've done here, which has worked out quite nice. So yeah, then just fill it all in basically. So I started filling in all this side. I was planning on getting all this side on too, but the weather forecast tomorrow is not looking great. So I think what I'm going to concentrate on actually is getting some lead in, get as much lead on today as possible, just to help get things in the dry. So we'll leave this space here with no wood on, and that'll be quite handy actually for knocking up on too. I had a few issues on this roof because the position of the chimney stacked, but we've managed to work our way around that now. So what I'm going to do is yeah, just start knocking up some lead and catch you up in a bit. Right, so as you can see now, I've got quite a few of these bays starting to go on. What I've done, literally just start from this first one down here in the hip, just work my way up through there and along there. I'm concentrating at the moment trying to get some of these nice central ones in, because these are quite easy, to be honest, because there's not much going on with these. So I'm going to try and get all the way through here, with it being now the end of November in UK. The weather isn't great, so I've got this black plastic sheet on, which is kind of keeping things in the dry, but it has got a few holes in it, so it's letting a bit of water in, and inside everything's plastered and plasterboarded, so I need to get this in the dry as quickly as possible. So I think what I'm going to try to do is work my way through there, get a lot of these nice easy straight bays on, and then what I'll probably do is come over to this side of the roof and fix the roll there, and same on the other side, and fill in through the through in between the chimneys there, and that'll get quite a lot of the area in and get it in the dry quite quickly. So I think that's what I'm going to concentrate on doing. Okay, so I've literally just finished now bossing over the last roll end on this side here. So that's this side all pretty much weather tight now. Still need to trim the splash slabs and obviously get the front down turned into the Nicholson vent, but what I'm going to do now, I think, is concentrate on this half. So I'm going to do is peel back this black sheet. First thing I need to do is nail this Nicholson air track system through. So we get that all the way through there. I think I still need to do it this section as well. Yeah, it's still missing through there as well. And on this end there. So I'll get all this Nicholson air track system on. And then what we'll do is we'll start filling in between the two chimney stacks, fitting all the wood rolls. And then we can start getting some more lead on that side too. Okay, as you can see now, I've got most of this air track system fitted on this side. I have, unfortunately, however, run out, so I only managed to get there. So a couple of lengths short, which I'll have to get that organised. Also, now I've started filling in the wood rolls in between these two chimney stacks, and start getting some bays on this side. What I'm going to do is start off with this bay here. The reason being, as you can see, I've had this black sheet over, but it has still managed to let some water in. So what I want to do is start with this bay, which is a nice, quite straightforward bay, get some area in quickly. Then we can fall back to these chimney stack bays, which is a bit more detail, which is going to slow me down a little bit. So yeah, that's the reason I'm starting at that point there, just to get some area in quickly. So here's one I'm just knocking up at the moment, using a chalk line. First thing I've done, marked 55mm there, which will take the lead to the halfway point on that wood roll. You don't want to do a normal 75mm because it will lap and you'll end up with like lots of thicknesses through there. When you put the ridge line through, it just look awful. So just take the lead to the halfway point. Then we've got our 75mm undercloak, measuring between the two wood rolls, which is 535mm, leaves 190mm for the over. So I'm going to get this one knocked up now, get that one sat in, and start working my way through this to get some area in. Okay, so as you can see, all those bays in between the two chimney stacks are on now. Even though they're on, as you can see, they still need finishing off. Still need to actually weld the undercloaks and then get these overcloaks over properly, weld them up, boss all the roll ends, etc. But I just wanted to get that area on quickly, just to get it in the dry. So there's that to fall back on in a minute. But the first thing I'm going to do is fall back onto this side. And although I've oiled all of these bays underneath the splash laps, etc., it's still managing to find its way out and starting to stain the slates. So what I'm going to do is lift up this front edge, lift up all of these splash laps, give it another coat of oil underneath, let that dry, then we can dress all that back down again. We get them trimmed off to 50mm, and then we'll start turning all this front into the Nicholson vent, and it's just going to stop any more of this horrible staining. It's just so difficult to keep on top of it this time of year. But considering the amount of area, actually, the fact it's literally only done it in that one section is quite good. I'm pretty pleased with that, and I can get that off the slates as well. Let's have a look at this side quickly. I don't know about this side yet. It doesn't seem to have ran anywhere on that side, which is good. Right, so that's my plan then. So I'm going to lift up this front edge, lift up these splash laps, give it another coat of oil quickly, and then start dressing all that down and getting it all trimmed up. So as you can see, what I'm doing, I'm just using the torch here just to run it underneath the splash lap, just to dry it out a bit quickly. It doesn't really take much. Just give it a quick blast. Once that dries out, we can get a bit more oil on that, and that should stop any more staining on the slates. Okay, so that's all those splash laps oiled and dressed back down again, all the way along. What I'm in the process of doing now is marking and trimming up these splash laps. So what I tend to do for this is using a roofing square, which is 50mm. Just put it against the side of the roll, get a pencil, just mark down there. That gives you a nice 50mm line. And when it gets to the front, I just angle them off a bit, So I'll just mark 100 from there to there, and then it's 90mm back, and it gives it just a little bit more on the front there and a nice decorative finish as well. So what I'm going to do now is work my way along there, marking up and trimming all the splash laps, and then we'll have a look at getting this front edge turned into the Nicholson vent. Okay, that's all those splash laps trimmed up now, all the way through. So what we're going to do now is concentrate on this front edge. And to do this, what I do is you get a pencil, scribe down your lap there, and just fold back your lap. What we're going to do is cut off that section level with the Nicholson vent to where your lap line is. Cut that off completely so you don't get an extra thickness of lead there. And then just make sure you're 25mm lower than this edge. That's going to be for your fold. And what you do, once you've cut off the excess, get a bit of heat on there, soften it all up nicely, and you can literally just use your fingers and fold that into the Nicholson vent. So what I'm going to do is work my way all the way through there now to the end. Okay, so I've literally just finished turning the last bay on that front edge there. That's all nicely tucked now into the Nicholson vent all the way through, as far as we can go. I think what I'm going to do now is concentrate on this side, start finishing off these bays. So the first thing we need to do is just weld these undercloaks, and then we can work our way through setting all these rolls in and bossing all these roll ends. And let's just see how far we can get, just work our way through there. Okay, so we're just in the process now of just setting all these rolls in. Just welded up the undercloak there. What I then do is give it a bit of oil underneath the splash lap. Got a drip plate positioned underneath there. Just get a setting stick, set that roll in. Just literally get it, fold it halfway over, and then just using the rubber mallet work your way through setting it down on this side. Just going to put my foot on the end there to stop it from lifting up. Down a certain point you can get a setting stick. Set that in now this side. Don't go too far to the end. I'm going to use a little bit of heat in that corner. Makes it a bit softer. Leave that there, we can weld all them up at the same time. What we'll do now is boss over the roll end. So first, make sure it's nice and flat on the front, and it's setting right to the front corner of the roll. You can see that when you look through. It's looking good. Get a bit of heat on there. Just using the rubber mallet. First of all, find your first edge. Make sure the corner stays down. More heat on there. The drip plate underneath there helps massively. It just stops the lead from wanting to sink down on this front edge. Gives you something nice to dress to as well. Really worth investing in a decent drip plate, to be honest. Let's put a bit of heat on there. Concentrate more on this area first, and we can worry about this bit in a minute. Get the front down, that's it. And get it like that. Now we can concentrate on bringing it round. When it starts to crease like that, what you can do before it goes too far, get a chase wedge underneath it, dress it to your chase wedge, and it'll just take all the creases back out again. Obviously do it before it gets too far. Make sure you just keep on top of it. Almost there now. Chase wedge underneath that bit there. Point, you can now take the drip plate out. This is the one I got this from Calder. To be honest with you, it's definitely money well spent. Wish I'd done it years ago. When you take that out, because of the thickness of the drip plate, you'll find it will go down another couple of mil. That's it. Bit of a dress on the front there. Job done. Okay, I'm going to wrap this video up here, I think, because this video is starting to get quite long now. But please join me in part 2 when the rest of these bays will be finished. we run the ridgeline and the hips as well. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. You can check me out on Instagram at SLBLedworks. Thanks for watching. Cheers.